I'm Dr. Carruthers, Headmaster of Coleraine Grammar School, and I would like to begin by welcoming everyone, parents, carers and especially the new Year 8 pupils to Coleraine Grammar School. This is an online version of the presentation which we gave on Monday if you were unable to make that meeting, and hopefully this will provide you with all the information you need. Whether your family is already part of the school community with older siblings at school or you're a new family to our school, you're all very welcome. I would like to reassure parents and pupils that our school and staff are very experienced in ensuring that the transition from primary school to grammar school is a smooth process, and that the necessary pastoral and academic support will be ready and available to all our pupils as you make the transition. This presentation covers what you need to know for the beginning of Year 8, and the induction book will remind you of the necessary information as the beginning of the school year approaches in late August. Good communication between school and home is really important, both for general information and for contact with individual families. We use text, email, Facebook and the school website as our communication channels, so please make sure all your contact details are accurate on the forms you have completed for school. Parents find these communication channels very helpful during the school year and at times during the school holidays. I will now hand over to Mr. Hamilton, Pastoral Vice Principal, who will take you through the details that parents and pupils need to know for beginning Year 8. Thank you.
Hello and welcome everyone. At the outset, I'd like to introduce a few members of the senior management team with whom you will become very familiar over the next 7 years. Mr. Evans is our Curriculum Vice Principal based on the Pastoral campus, and I am the Pastoral Vice Principal based on the Lodge Road campus. Safeguarding is our priority. I am the designated teacher for child protection, and Mr. Frew, Miss McGee and Mrs. Taggart are the deputy designated teachers for child protection. I hold primary responsibility for all matters pertaining to child protection and am the first point of contact if you have any concerns. In my absence, Mr. Frew, Miss McGee or Mrs. Taggart may be contacted. Your child will also get to know Mr. McGregor, the pastoral head of faculty, and Mrs. Smith, the pastoral leader or year head for Year 8. I am speaking on behalf of Mrs. Smith, who is not able to be here this afternoon. Mrs. Smith is responsible for Year 8 pupils and their welfare in school. At the start of Year 8 at Coleraine Grammar School in August 2022, Mrs. Smith will aim to support pupils through the induction process so that they settle happily into life at Coleraine Grammar. In this presentation, I want to share some key pieces of information and advice that she would normally share, which will be of interest to both parent carers and pupils as you prepare for your first year at CTS. Parent carers, Mrs. Smith will be your first point of contact with school next year should you have any issues, whether pastoral and academic, that you wish to discuss. Mrs. Smith's role as the pastoral leader for Year 8 means that she's responsible for their welfare and she'll support your son or daughter through the induction process. She leads a team of 6 extended registration tutors who will meet with Year 8 twice a week for extended registration and pastoral time. And Mrs. Smith will have regular contact with Year 8 through a weekly year group assembly, and she will soon become a familiar face to you boys and girls, as well as to whoever looks after you at home, both in the classroom, around school and through extracurricular activities. She'll become familiar to parent carers because she'll be your first point of contact should there be any issues, and likewise if school wishes to contact you about any pastoral or academic issues, you'll hear from Mrs. Smith in the first instance. In a typical year, you should expect 2 parents' meetings during the course of Year 8. The first being a pastoral meeting, and that will happen during the autumn term, and that will be with the extended registration tutor, and then a second academic meeting with subject teachers, and that will be later in the year in the spring. This is the pastoral structure for Year 8 on the Lodge Road campus, and you'll notice that each form class have 26 pupils, all coming from a range of feeder primary schools. boys and girls, or may not be in a class with other people from your primary school, but everyone is for sure making a new start, and each pupil will be joining a class with 25 new friends, perhaps from a range of different primary schools. And those classes will be finalised in August, and you'll get information about those in August. As a year group, you'll have your own toilets, your own locker area, your own allocated play area for break time, and you'll have your own slot time for the canteens. So please, if there are any concerns about class groupings, can you let Mrs. Smith and us know about that before the end of term? That would help. In our pastoral structure, your son or daughter will have, as I said, an extended registration tutor, the pastoral leader, as well as the pastoral leader, Mrs. Smith. And then above Mrs. Smith is Mr. McGregor, the senior teacher with responsibility for pastoral care and attendance. And then above Mr. McGregor is myself. In Scientia, opportunitas. With knowledge there is opportunity. That's our motto. And New Year 8 pupils, you will have a wonderful opportunity that lie ahead of you. Opportunities which will enable you to learn new skills and to make new friends. And we hope that when you join us, you'll be ready and willing to make the most of all the opportunities the school has to offer you, both inside and outside the classroom. Pupils will be provided with a promoting positive behaviour code of conduct in their pupil planner, their homework diary, their planner at the start of the term, and the teachers will make them aware of our high expectations here at CGS. And please note there at the bottom, the section of the screen, that as a school we follow regulations and procedures and policies, and we expect you pupils, of course, to do the same to get the most out of school. And parents, we will look forward to having your support in that too, as we all work hard to provide your child with a quality education. And if we all do what's expected of us and enjoy school, we will enjoy our learning and get the most out of it, and we'll get on well together. As a school community, we promote respect for ourselves and for others, and for how we learn. And we also celebrate the achievements of our pupils who display our core values of responsibility, equality, self-discipline, perseverance, excellence, commitment, and tolerance. And parent carers, we will very much look forward to you supporting us in our core values in promoting our positive behaviour policy, so we work hard to provide your child with a quality education. We love celebrating success and offering rewards. Year 8 will have the opportunity to win Class of the Month and also achieve respect certificates recognising their contribution to our school community, and pupils will find out more about that in September. In terms of uniform, we expect uniform to be correct and to be worn correctly. So top buttons and shirts should be buttoned, and ties should be worn high and displaying our school crest below the knot. Girls' skirts should be at knee length and not taken in. We have high expectations regarding jewellery, piercings and hairstyles for both boys and girls. And I would suggest that we all think carefully about what shoes we should purchase. If your child struggles with tying shoelaces, think safety first and maybe opt for the slip-on or Velcro shoes. And you'll be travelling, boys and girls, around the school, up and down stairs. You'll be changing for PE, so get shoes that are manageable to wear and unlikely to cause you to fall or to trip in busy corridors. And trainer or DM style shoes are not allowed. So you can consult the uniform policy, which is available on the website, and our uniform suppliers, Heart and Home, S&T, Moores and Gults, as well as shoe suppliers, are very familiar with the school's uniform policy. PE kit then, please also make sure that all uniform and PE kits is clearly named and labelled in September. You will, Year 8, have responsibility for looking after your own belongings. Some of your parent carers are thinking, really? You're thinking, really? They have to organise their school bags and uniform? Yes, that's that stage. It's exciting, isn't it? So we don't want anything to go missing, and if it does go missing, we want to be able to reunite you with your very expensive pieces or important pieces of equipment So make sure you bring your belongings and store them carefully in your sports bags to make sure that nothing goes missing. And just in terms of PE kit, in the last few weeks, the supplier for Under Armour kit has gone out of business. We worked with Under Armour, and we moved very quickly to sign up Kukri as our new supplier. But please be reassured that existing kit may be worn or reworn. If it's been worn by older siblings, that's fine. The current stock in local shops is the one that should be purchased and used. So if they're supplying Under Armour, that's fine. And we have been communicating with Kukri, and whenever they have more kit available, and we will let you know. We do apologise for the inconvenience here, but this was a matter that was out of our control, and we have addressed the situation as quickly as we could. So, boys and girls, in terms of the usual school day, a normal school day, we start for you with your form class. There will be a 10-minute registration, and on 2 mornings a week that will be extended to a 20-minute registration with your tutor to discuss pastoral and academic matters. There will be 6 lessons a day, so you could be studying, boys and girls, up to 6 subjects in a day, but there might be subjects that have double periods, like games, Monday, period 3 and 4, between break and lunch, make a note. Okay, or art or technology or home economics, for instance. And every day we will return to having assembly in here. That's something that hasn't happened during COVID. And then you'll have a 15-minute break after that, where you can purchase snacks in the junior canteen or just bring your own break. The canteen then is also open at lunchtime, and pupils may buy a hot lunch and or pre-order sandwiches. You may bring your own packed lunch if you wish. And any pupils who are entitled to free school meals, there will be a list of those pupils kept by the canteen staff. So if your son and daughter, all they need to do is to simply just speak to the canteen staff and give their name when collecting their lunch in September. And you will also, as mentioned earlier, have the opportunity to rent a locker in which you can store your kits, your school bags, or your coat, or any spare books. So talking about books, being prepared for class is important, of course. So I want you to ensure that everyone is well equipped with stationery for September. A lot of people find it handy to maybe have a folder for different subjects. So you might consider that, a folder to keep a textbook or a notebook or a workbook for each individual subject. Some prefer not, it's whatever works with organising. And it might be a good idea to maybe sort those things out and have them labelled before the start of school. And we do need a good or well-equipped pencil case that's well looked after, please, as well. So we do have resources available in school, but it's essential that people train themselves to bring all the things they need to class, and that will be good practice and training for moving towards GCSE and A-level exams. We encourage you to keep hydrated. That helps maximise your concentration and your academic performance. We do have water available at break times and lunch times from the junior canteen. That's free of charge. Or if you wish, you can buy a bottled water from a vending machine. However, with considering the current focus around plastic pollution, you're more than welcome to bring your own reusable water bottle. Energy drinks are not acceptable in school, and pupils are expected to visit the toilet facilities at break or lunchtime, and try to avoid doing that during class so you don't miss out on any learning opportunities. Now, whilst we recognise the value of mobile phones, particularly for safety and making your own transport arrangements to and from school, please be aware, boys and girls, that the mobile phones are not to be used during the school day, and they should be, if you have one, I'm sure you will, probably by September if you don't have one already, but they're not to be used during the school day, and should not be used, therefore, to take any photographs or record any videos in school. And throughout the school day means from when you arrive until when you leave at 3:25. I will remind you of these regulations in September, and we'd ask that everyone respects that policy. Pupils shouldn't be texting or contacting parents, carers directly through the school day. If you feel unwell as a pupil, what you do is you notify your teacher, they will notify the school office, and they will make contact with home. And that causes less worry or distress for all concerned, whatever the issue might be. Seek help from a teacher, and we'll contact home. And parent carers, if you do need to get an urgent message to your child, again, that may be relayed by the school office. The same procedures apply. Thank you. We do recognise, obviously, that illnesses do happen, but we want to encourage good attendance, because good attendance is good linked to good performance. And in our school, Mr McGregor keeps a close eye on pupil attendance, and we want as many Year 8s getting those high attendance certificates for excellence by the end of next year. And when you are absent, you do miss out on valuable learning and also time and fun with your friends. So sometimes we might use Google Classroom as one means to help you catch up with any missed work, but it is the pupil's responsibility, along with their friends and with the help of the teacher when they come back, to catch up on any work they've missed during their absence. We do ask you that parent carers would email in to the school office on any morning that you know in advance, maybe for an appointment or medical appointment to the dentist or something. You know in advance, can you let us know in advance? And or on the morning if your child's unwell, and the email address is there, cgsabsencelr252@c2kni.net, and you'll get that information again. So, as you know, we're well known as a school not only for academic achievement and performance, but also for our extracurricular activities, and there are a wide range that operate throughout the school year. Some clubs take place at lunchtime, others after school, and it's important that you, as pupils, listen out for any announcements in assembly like this, in morning registration, or even check your classroom. And parent carers, you can also check the CGS Sports Facebook page for details of what will be happening when and where. The junior choir and orchestras meet weekly and practice for performances at our very special annual carol service in December and our spring concert in March, 2 highlights in the school year. Parents, please encourage your children to participate in these whole school events, and make sure you buy your tickets early as well for any of those events if they are, if you can support the school that way. Year 8, you have the opportunity to go on lots, we hope, of exciting trips and visits with your subject departments. You play learning games in class, and you might do some charity fundraising activities throughout the year, which is exciting. So some of the after-school clubs you might normally take place, not only rugby during games, but also after school if you choose. Also then Harriers, our running club, cross-country, or badminton, or in the summer term, cricket and athletics. And you'll notice a few other things up there as well. We would have table tennis club here on campus, and other off-campus opportunities like golf, or our Year 8 surf club, which usually runs in the month of June. Malone, and is going this Wednesday, and so lots of excited Year 8s, looking forward to that. I wonder whether that'll be some of you next year. And again, check out the Facebook page, CGS Sports Facebook page, for updates. Our teams have been performing very well in many competitions. If you follow the school Facebook, you'll see that. And most importantly, for your children, it's a wonderful opportunity for them to learn new skills and make new friends in a team environment. So, homework. You were waiting for that word, weren't you, boys and girls? So, homework. Mums and dads and whoever looks after you at home, they play a key role in helping you establish good homework routine. And that's essential because good study habits in junior school will be of benefit to you in the senior school. So, routine is really important. Getting a dedicated area and time slot for homework at home when you get home, whatever that is, in the early afternoon or the early evening. But don't just study all night. Make sure you have time for leisure activities, or maybe continue with those good things you do. Maybe you're part of a sports club or youth organisation. We'd love you to continue with that as well. Think about environments. Your child will need a quiet space or a table or a desk which they can work. And I believe there are such things as Xbox. I'm reading what I've been told to say out here. Xbox and television. I don't know if those things get in the way at all. But we will have to prize ourselves away from those at times, just to focus on our learning and enjoy that. And of course, that can be part of the routine as well, but after homework, we hope. Okay, so make full use of your pupil planners, your homework diary. You can write homeworks into that. The number of teachers will also post the homework deadlines in the Google Classroom. So every evening, it would be great for pupils and parents to check that homework is done. Pupils check that your bag is packed for the next day, and also all your PE kit is ready. Better that than a scramble sometime between 10 to 8 and 8:15 on any given morning, better the night before. And on a weekly basis then, it'd be great if parent carers could maybe sign the homework diary, the pupil planner, and that just reminds us that we're all keeping an eye on homework and what's being learned in each subject. Although boys and girls, you will now be becoming to big school and you're taking on more responsibility, hopefully, and learning new skills for future success, it's important to get yourselves organised in year 8. So getting a good start will help with that. And as a school community, we really appreciate parent carers' support in that. In regard to transition and communication and reporting, we'll do our best to keep you updated with your child's progress. You're going to receive 3 formal reports next year. 2 of those will note subject data and effort grades, okay? And then a 3rd one at the end of the year will add teacher subject comments and pastoral comments as well. So there'll be plenty of information to help you track your son or daughter's progress and how they're doing. 6 weeks before the summer examinations, we just had boys and girls a week of summer exams, which were very popular with year 8. They came out smiling all the time. Well, maybe that was, they were very happy on last Tuesday when they finished. So we gave you chances to study in class, but would you believe you do 18 subjects in year 8? Now you won't be testing all of them in the summer exams, but we have 5 days of study, of exams, something to look forward to. But it's a good chance to show what you've learned and show what you've taken on board. And in those 5 days, you'll have some slots for revision as well. So we've helped you through. We'll give you a study guide 6 weeks before the summer exams to show you how to prepare a revision timetable. That will help get you started with your revision programme and again learn good study habits. The school also uses the Sims Parent app and also the Parent Pay app, and this will help communication home. And you'll receive a weekly email from the headmaster on school business and events. So make sure we have your details for that and get signed in. And if you have any concerns, as I said previously, or feel that your child is struggling at any point in the year, pastorally or academically, please let Mrs. Smith know. So, because ultimately, the sooner we know about an issue, the sooner we can try to help solve the problem and provide any additional support that's necessary.
The Learning Support Team and the Pastoral Team work very closely together to ensure that's the case for our SEN pupils. We very much value and need communication with parents and carers to ensure that we're able to do this effectively. So Mr. Hamilton has already talked about that. So please do keep in touch with us, and I'll do my best to make sure that we keep in touch with you as well. To start off then, if your son or daughter has had any kind of support in primary school for their learning, whether that has been for literacy, numeracy, social and emotional needs, anything like that, please do let us know. Firstly on your paperwork, which I know a lot of you have handed in today already. And if your son or daughter has had an IEP in primary school, so an individual education plan, it's very, very helpful to me if I can have a copy of that as well, because that helps me then base the support that we make a start with here too. So please, anything like that, just pass it on, either in your paperwork or certainly you can speak to me at the end of the meeting as well. Also, if your son or daughter has ever had any support from external agencies, so places like Educational Psychology, the ASD service, CAMS, any service like that, do include those details on your form too, please. And even if you think your son or daughter doesn't need support any longer, they've maybe had it prior to this, just give me the information anyway, in case I do need to monitor pupils as they go through the transition into year 8. Medical needs should be included in a separate form, but if a pupil's medical needs affect their learning, then do include it on the SEN paperwork as well. Even if your child has no SEN, please just sign and date the form so that I can file it and have it as a record. So thanks very much for your help in advance with all that. So in terms of pupils who will have IEPs in place, I will aim to meet with those pupils and their parents towards the end of June, hopefully, and that means I can draft those and have them ready for the 31st of August. Then those will be reviewed twice a year with parents and pupils. But also, as the year progresses, we've very well established systems in place to help monitor pupils and staff to feed back to me in case there are any learning or emotional needs that become apparent. So even if a pupil doesn't have any needs in evidence to start off with, we can monitor if there is anything that crops up throughout the year. Again, the LS team will communicate with you if and when these arise. But if you have any concerns and you want to pass them on to me to follow up in school, please just do that as well. So again, communication, very, very important. So don't hesitate to contact me via the school office, and I'll try my best to get back to you with any queries and help as much as I can. And like I said, I'll be here after this meeting if you want to have a quick chat. And most important thing, just pass on any relevant information. Let's see if I missed one. Sorry. Thank you. This is why Mr. Hamilton knows most of this and not me. There we go. Okay, got the last one at the right time. Sorry about that. Third time lucky. All I had to do was 3 slides, and that's what happened. Right, so in conjunction with SEM, but not exactly the same, is support we make available for pupils who might display a need in a sort of short-term way, and we can support them in that one particular area. So that's what we call additional needs, which is connected to SEM. Usually, Year 8 will engage in a suite of GL assessments that are carried out during the first term of Year 8, and pupils will often have had experienced similar style of assessments in primary school. You can see on the slide there, there's mention of PT, PTM. I'm sure some of you are familiar with those types of tests. So they provide subject teachers with baseline information so we can best support the pupils in the classroom. Following these assessments, pupils may be offered additional support in a range of areas like numeracy, literacy or mentoring to help support, stretch and challenge as required. Approximately 30 Year 8 pupils benefited from this support last year, so this current academic year, and parents and pupils will be informed about these assessments happening ahead of time. Be aware, no revision is needed, so don't worry about that, and more information can be found on the GL assessment website. Thank you very much.
Okay, so we're nearly finished. Just to summarise, the first day for Year 8 will be the 31st of August, where you'll all be here from 9 AM until 12 noon. Come onto the school campus by the pedestrian gate, which is just out towards the edge of the road, just to the left of this hall. You'll see that on the way out. Then we'll gather and break you into your classes, either outside the hall, just where you're leaving today, or inside here if it's a wet morning. But hopefully we managed to do that outside for the last several years, so hopefully we'll be able to do that. On that morning of the 31st of August, you'll spend the morning with your new class, with your classmates, so you get to know the other pupils in your form class, and you'll also get to know your extended registration tutor, and that's the teacher who will be your pastoral support through your first year in school. You'll get a lot of information over the course of the first few days, and you might find initially that that's a wee bit overwhelming, but don't worry about that in the least, because as you begin to move around the school, follow your timetable. In the first 2 or 3 weeks, things will work out and it'll all become clear how everything works in terms of break times and lunch times and activities after school and so on. And if you have any questions at all, please ask them of teachers, of other pupils, and on that first day the senior prefect team will be here at Lodge Road, and they are also very helpful because it's not that long since they had exactly the same experience, so you can ask the senior prefect plenty of questions. Okay, so thank you very much everybody for taking the time to be here this afternoon. If you have any further questions today, we're not rushing off, so you can ask us those questions up at the front of the hall as you leave, or contact Mrs. Smith or the school office when we get to August. Basically, school restarts in the middle of August at that time of year when exam results start to come out. But over the summer and towards the beginning of school, keep an eye on those communication channels I mentioned, the text, emails, Facebook and the school website. If there's anything, any updates at all, that's where they'll be. After the last couple of years when there were far too many updates as schools reopened, I sincerely hope that there aren't any, but if there is anything to tell you, we'll put it on those channels. And I hope you all have a really good summer, and I look forward to seeing you again on the 31st of August. Thank you all very much.